Hi, and welcome to VIBEZ Daily. This is a daily devotional curated by VIBEZ Church to help you practice the way of Jesus and be all that God has called you to be. You have joined us for our year-long series titled Devoted. Acts 2:42 tells us that the followers of Jesus were devoted to the apostles' teaching, to fellowship, to breaking of bread, and to prayer. This podcast was created to provide context and commentary for what you read each day. Just before our friends begin discussing today's reading, we want to invite you not only for fellowship, but for prayer as well. We have created the VIBEZ Daily Chat Group to offer you fellowship and a community where you can state your observations, ask questions about the reading or the podcast. You can join us by downloading the VIBEZ Church app in your favorite app store. Click Join the Conversation and join us today. And finally, we hope that you can join us for prayer. Prayer happens Monday through Friday, and more information on that can be found on the VIBEZ Church app under prayer. Now, let's begin our conversation on today's reading.
All right, hi, welcome back to VIBEZ Daily Podcast. We are in our series Devoted, and we are on day 130. Come with it. I'm back with my sis Meya, and we are talking about 2 Chronicles. Today we'll be doing chapters 12 through 15. And we are in the middle of recapping some of these kings of Judah and Israel, mostly focusing in Chronicles these kings of Judah. So we have just finished kind of going over Rehoboam and stuff, as we talked about yesterday, which was the son of Solomon. And so here we have, but yeah, so now Rehoboam has died. Sleeping with his father's, yes. So you're gonna help me out with. And now we're with Abijah, his son.
Yeah.
Thoughts.
You know, this is just an interesting set of chapters. I feel like it's like more kind of intricate genealogy and things like that.
Yeah.
I feel like they're mentioning who this person is more, so it just kind of brings everything together.
Yeah.
I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I do. I love how like we're piecing things together and adding upon the kings, the books of the kings, where like we're just adding things on, and here we are now seeing kings against kings now, right?
Yeah.
That like we have this King Abijah who's against the king of Israel, Jeroboam, right now, who is still around, still whiling and ruling in Israel with all his idols and stuff. But yeah, that I'm impressed that Abijah was able to get an army of 400,000 men.
That's a lot.
Come on, that's a decent size.
And it says select warriors in my, like, not just a ragtag group of mercenaries. It's select warriors too. So
mine says valiant men of war.
See that?
Yeah, these are some people not to play with.
Right.
So I you know what I appreciate when I'm reading this?
What's that?
That from jump, when we're looking at this, Abijah was for the Lord.
Yep. Like
the fact that he goes up and he's just like, look at here, Jeroboam.
Yep.
Like, oh, we come to you in the name of the Lord.
Don't
right?
you realize?
Don't you realize? What does yours say? It says,
Don't you realize that the Lord, the God of Israel, made a lasting covenant with David, giving him and his descendants the throne of Israel forever? He was like, do you not know?
Do you not know who I am?
Mm-hmm.
A descendant of David.
Yes. And it's not just me. I'm not puffing my chest up for me. God created this. So let me remind you who I am. Let me reintroduce myself.
And I love in verse 9 how, or verse 8, I'll start at 8. And he's like, and because he said, and now you think to withstand the kingdom of the Lord in the hand of the sons of David, because you are a great multitude, and you have with you golden calves that Jeroboam made for gods.
That was a jab.
It was a jab. He's like, have you not driven out the priests, like the Levitical priests? Like, whoever comes for ordination with a young bull or 7 rams becomes a priest of who are not gods. He's like, y'all got fake priests.
So you're buying your way into the priesthood at this point.
You got fake priests and fake gods.
Ain't nothing real. But we're real over here.
But as for us, verse 10.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's good. But as for us, the Lord is our God, and we have not abandoned him. So basically, I'm telling you what we are, so you can know what you are not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. To me, it's giving rap battle. Is it 106 in Park? Like, it's...
somebody won and somebody lost.
Oh,
literally.
It is. My kids watch this show called Back to the Basics. And they have this scene of David and Goliath. And, like, the scene of David and Goliath going back and forth is literally a rap battle.
Really?
In, like, a ring. And this is what it's giving right now.
That is funny.
Like,
yeah.
I'm just going to tell you about who you are.
Yeah, but Jeroboam is getting ate up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can't argue with God.
No.
And also, he knows what God said. And he knows he's wilding. And he knows the calves, though. That was bars. Like, because we already know.
What you got?
As soon as the people wow out, you know what would be great? A golden
calf.
And so, the fact that he said that was good. That was good.
He was just like, we're not fazed by these old golden calves, y'all. We've seen this before. What else do you see?
One thing that I thought was funny. Some of these, like, I may or may not be a tiny bit petty. So petty recognizes petty. So when I see stuff, so this is 13. Let's see, 7. So basically it's saying, this is 6. Yet Jeroboam, son of Nebat, a mere servant of David's son Solomon, rebelled against his master. Then 7, this is where it gets real. Then a whole gang of scoundrels.
Mine says worthless scoundrels.
Scoundrels. That right there cracked me up. Joined him, defying Solomon's son. Why do I always stutter on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When he was young and inexperienced and could not stand up to them. Do you really think you could, like, you already said this part, but it's just like, it gets real in this. A scoundrel?
Scoundrel. First of all, not only, I love that you pointed out, because he was like, first of all, you my daddy's servant.
A mere.
You the servant. And your little rascal friends. Okay? And your little
wastemen.
Corner friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scoundrels. All of them. That part cracked me up.
Oh,
sorry, that was backtracking a little bit.
But I love it. I love it that he's putting in perspective what's happening. And this author is making sure
we know who we for and who we not for. Because he makes it clear, like, we gonna omit some stuff from the people we like. Yes. But the people we don't like, we gonna make it clear. Tell all your business.
We gonna make it clear.
Yeah.
So I love it. Yeah. But they have this back and forth, and then in verse 14, what I love, this goes back and ties back into something that was said back in Moses' day.
Okay.
That was like, whenever you go out to battle and you have the priest before you in the ark, if you blow the trumpets, the Lord will come to your aid.
Okay.
And so here we see they have their priests out with them in battle, and they blow the trumpets here, and they cry out to the Lord. And the Lord, in verse 16, says, the men of Israel fled before Judah, and God gave them into their hand. And Abijah and them, they struck down 500,000 men. Mine says chosen men. 500,000.
And what we do know back from verse 3, Abijah had 400. And Jeroboam had 800,000. So
they had double.
And they still inflicted heavy losses on them. That tells you right there.
Crazy. Yep. And I skipped over this part too, but I love in verse 15, it said God defeated Jeroboam and all Israel before them. And so I love that we continue to see the Lord always wanted to be their king, their ruler, their protector, the one to go out to battle for them. Because like, when he does it, he does stuff in full. Like, when he goes out for his people, he shows out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not just going. They could have been like, and 60,000 fell that day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No. Like, he made a statement before Israel. It was just like, yeah, I'm gonna tear y'all down.
Yep.
And yeah,
because I said that I would.
Because I said I would and I could, and my people, I'm gonna have their back.
Yep.
And so I love it. And so in verse 21, it says that like Abijah, he grew mighty and strong, and he has some 14 wives.
I was like,
Here we do.
I'm bracing for the concubines.
We got the wives, and and the stuff.
Yeah,
but
14 wives.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then his son Asa takes over. But do you have anything before we move on to 14?
We can move right into 14.
Okay, cool. So in 14, Elijah, he dies and he's buried in the city of David with everyone else. And now Asa rules, and I like Asa.
I like Asa.
Yeah, let's
learn more though.
I know you have your reservations about him. Talk to me about him.
I'm rooting for you, Asa. No, let's just go. Sometimes my reservations might not be founded. Yeah. So let's see what we can learn here.
Okay. I forgot that you had something with Asa. When I said that, I was like, I like you. Like,
no, and I could be wrong. Maybe I could be misremembering. So.
Okay. So Asa, verse 2 was he did good and right in the Lord's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He took away these foreign altars from these high places. He broke down the pillars, the Asherim, and he commanded Judah to follow the Lord.
Yeah, the God of their ancestors.
Yeah, which was definitely more than what Rehoboam did.
Facts.
Rehoboam was wilding.
He didn't care.
Yeah, he had, like you said, those 3 years, and that was
3 strong years. It's like, what? Statute of limitations.
Yes.
Okay.
So Asa had an army of about 500,000 total, 580,000 total at this point now, with large shields and stuff like that. But yeah, what else you see? He ends up having this encounter with Ethiopia, who have 1 million men.
That
Talk to me. Yeah.
That was If I was there, I would be like, well, what are our options? Is there any kind of peace treaty?
Plan B.
Have we taken any wives from that tribe that we can kind of parlay with? This, it was a lot to face.
Yeah.
But, it says in verse 11, then Asa cried out to our Lord.
Yeah.
And it says, the Lord, his God, O Lord, no one but you can help the powerless against the mighty. Help us, O Lord, our God, for we trust you alone. Yeah. It is in your name that we have come against this vast horde.
Yeah.
O Lord, you are our God. Do not let mere men prevail against you.
Yeah.
And he didn't say prevail against us. He said against you.
Yeah.
He was smart.
That was really good.
That's the only thing you could do.
That was really good. Yeah. And just for anyone who has a different version, my CSB version calls them the Cushites.
Okay.
But of course, ESV and NLT refers to them as the Ethiopians. Yeah. So just in case you're reading the same text, your stuff might differ. Same people. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I love that. I love, like you said, that he even made it like some of these older kings and prophets have like really made this a war against not them and us, but them and God. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And I feel like that's still how we should be seeing some of the trials that we go through today. Like some stuff, when people come at us, and sometimes it's not about you and me. Like it's, kind of like how Ephesians talk about. It's like our wrestle is not against the flesh and the blood. It's on the God level,
and that's really good because it really brings it in. And what I like about these stories is like bringing it home. Like, how is this applicable to today? And that's a good one. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna be thinking about that all this week. It's like it's not about us.
It's not about us. Yeah,
and it's hard. Like I'm sure they probably like, oh, these people are coming to kill us.
Yeah, because they got swords.
Yeah, but it's the same thing when things happen to us at work or in our home or whatever. We're like, oh, they're coming. They're struggling with something else more than likely. Pray for them because they need it. So,
that part. Yeah, that's really good.
That's good, I think.
Yeah. So we see here that I love, once again, that they cry out to the Lord. And verse 12, the Lord defeated them.
Yes.
And this is the one that kills me right here. In verse 13, it says, and the Ethiopians fell until none remained alive.
Yeah.
All 1 million died.
That's crazy.
What? And it says, and they carried away very much spoil. Like a lot of stuff. They plundered them and even went to the cities around them and plundered them.
Pillaging.
They was just living. They was looting everything.
Yeah.
And I'm just, once again, we mentioned before, like when the Lord does something, he does it completely. Like with these armies and showing up for these people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say in 15 it says they also attacked the camps of the herdsmen and captured many sheep, goats, and camels. Camels would probably be. How did I get involved in this?
I'm just out here grazing the cattle. Listen, the shepherds is out there like, I'm just trying to feed the flock.
Just a herdsman. I wasn't involved.
I ain't got no sword. I got a staff.
But yeah, they got God as well.
They sure did.
Yeah, it just shows, like you said, God does everything. He's a God of completion.
Yeah.
So when he does it, you're going to know that it was done, kind of thing. And if it was just man, I'm sure at least 50,000 would have been alive. But it says, in my version, it says they were unable to rally. I think that's a very fancy way of saying they were all dead.
They was laid out.
Yeah. Chop
suey.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So the next bit, 15 is about Asa's religious reform. What stood out to you in this?
Yeah, I love that God keeps sending prophets, and so here we got in this first verse, because I think we take it for granted we have the Holy Spirit sometimes, and like that can speak to us throughout the day, but like to see the Lord continues to like put His Spirit in people. So the Spirit of God came upon Azariah, son of Oded. And he went out to meet Asa. And I love it. And he says, the Lord is with you while you are with him. If you seek him, he will be found by you. But if you forsake him, he will forsake you. And I feel like this, and so much more that he goes on to say, like you mentioned before, it's just repetition over and over and over.
That if.
Like, I'm going to be here for you if you here for me.
If. But abandon me and see what happens.
Listen. I'm going to just kill you like I just killed these Ethiopians.
I can do it. It'd be light work.
And he says it over and over and over. But I love in verse 7, he says, take courage. Don't let your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. So I love that.
That's good.
It's like,
let me underline that. That was
good. Like, listen, it's work to live for the Lord.
Yeah.
Like, it really is work. It's not just this, like, walk through the park and everything's lovely all the time. Like, these people at least even had to strap on the sword and go out there and fight. Like, it was work, but just be strong because you'll be rewarded in the end.
Yeah. And I think, like, I'll just go back a little bit. What preceded that is it says in my version, during those dark times, it was not safe to travel. Problems troubled the people of every land. Nations fought against nations, and cities against cities, for God was troubling them with every kind of problem.
Yeah.
So after that, it's still like, okay, this is gonna still happen. It's trouble right now, but be strong. And it, like you said, for your work, not just for your No, you gotta work. So it's not for your leisure, it's for your work. So that was good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, he said there wasn't much peace there, but with the Lord, they would be all right.
Yeah.
If now, come on,
there's a if.
You gotta stay with the Lord. But yeah, I love also how like King Asa, he was like, okay, bet. I'm gonna make everybody come on in. Everybody gathered all of Judah and Benjamin in verse 9. Some people from Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, who are like living with them too, because they I love it that they came to him from Israel when they saw that the Lord his God was with him. So I love, like, these people was like, oh wait, hold on.
Oh,
hey,
pack up the camels. Let's go.
Hey, looks like the Lord's over there. Like,
I'm trying to be with the Lord.
We going over there because they winning, but they killing millions.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to your point, what I do like is that they said that's where the Lord is. Not like, oh, that's where the king with clout is. So nope, that's where the Lord is. Because guess what, King Asa? If the Lord leads you, I'm going to wherever he goes next. So, yeah.
Yes, I love it.
I love that.
I love it. Like, they grow, they sacrifice all these sheep. And then in verse 12, he calls them all to enter into a covenant to seek the Lord with all their hearts and with all their soul. But in verse 13, it gets real. Because he's like, listen, whoever does not seek the Lord and who is not about this life shall be put to death, whether young or old, man or woman.
And again, this gets realer than real. And I know you know where I'm going with this. Verse 16, King Asa even deposed his grandmother, Maacah, from her position as queen mother because she had made an obscene Asherah pole, and he cut down that pole,
chopped it up.
She had to get up out,
crushed it up, grinded it up.
And I think that we've seen in different biblical narratives that people have a soft spot for their kin.
Oh, absolutely.
And they let stuff slide, and that's the downfall of everybody. But he was like, oh, you too. You can get it too. Yeah. Grandma,
you out. Somebody wheel her out.
Yeah, get her out.
Get the wheelchair. Just go and wheel Granny out. You gotta go.
You're not bringing me down. Because of your obscenity. How? Come on, Grandma. For real?
The Asherah?
We should. She may as well done a golden calf at this point.
At this point, it should have just been a golden calf.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's the thing where like the Lord is like, or the Lord, even when Jesus comes in the New Testament, he's like, okay, I'm gonna need you to be able to like hate your mother and father, sister and brother for the sake of me, and even that word hate just means like love less.
Love less. Yeah.
And so I was like, I need you to love them less than you love me, and I think this is a good illustration of that. It calls for a heart separation like this. That like, Mom, listen, the Lord said if you're not with me, I'm not going to be with you. And so I'm not trying to jeopardize.
You gotta go.
I'm trying to jeopardize what's happening here. Listen, so you too. So yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out.
And I think this ends kind of beautifully. It says because he did what he had to do, deposing even his family members, it says there was no more war until the 35th year of Asa's reign.
Yeah.
That's big. And remember, it just said they were dark times and nobody was safe. Everybody could get it. It was E for everyone. Yeah. But now, that's a significant turnabout.
Yeah, because then there's the peace. Because like my version said, there was no peace, and here we have no war. That's a long time.
It's a long time because they were warring every other Wednesday.
Yeah, you right about that.
So
always Wednesday. Strap up.
Let's go.
It's about time.
Get the sword.
Yeah. So that's good though. I'm glad you brought that out. So much stuff. All right, so that wraps it up for today.
Yeah.
So wait, one more day tomorrow, guys, and we'll see you back in chapter 16.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us for the VIBEZ Daily podcast. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform or download our favorite, the VIBEZ Church app. Visit vibes.church/devoted for additional episodes, notes, details, and the latest merch. Join us next time as we continue our journey through